So now that Donald Trump is president-elect and has a Republican Congress, you haven't seen that threesome lined up in a long time. How many people are hoping that that can sort of mend a fractured GOP. We heard so much about the civil war that was brewing within the Republican Party. So that journey begins this afternoon. The president-elect will meet with Speaker of the House Paul Ryan.
Let me just say, this is the most incredible political feat I have seen in my lifetime. Donald Trump heard a voice out in this country that no one else heard. He connected in ways with people no one else did. He turned politics on its head.
That's all still sinking in across the country. And joining me now is Jim DeMint, former South Carolina senator and president of the Heritage Foundation. Good to have you with us today, sir. Welcome to you.
Thank you, Martha. It's good to be with you.
What's your reaction when you just listening to that introduction? Donald Trump, president-elect of the United States of America, and Paul Ryan saying he has never seen anything like this.
Well, it's another conservative wave election, but the biggest we've ever had. And from our side at the Heritage Foundation, obviously we're pleased that Trump ran on common sense conservative ideas, and for years the Republicans in the House and the Senate have had the excuse of, well, we don't have the White House, we don't have the Senate. I think Paul Ryan is right. Donald Trump can unify the party around the conservative ideas that are really the base of the Republican Party.
I just want to mention to everybody at home, we are watching Donald Trump's plane. The motorcade has just pulled up. We expect him to get on that plane moments from now as he heads to the White House. You know, your thoughts on this historic meeting between President Barack Obama and President-elect Donald Trump?
Well, it's a good signal for our country. We've had a very contentious election, and right after the election to see the current president, the new president, the Speaker of the House meeting, that's a very positive signal. And so I hope Americans can begin to put the rhetoric of the election behind and do what Donald Trump encouraged us to do, to come together, work together, give him a chance to earn the votes that he got on election night.
Just watching as some of the Trump group is heading up those stairs, and you can just imagine what's going through their minds. I mean, just reflect on us for a moment, Mr. DeMint, on the enormity of the task that lies before Donald Trump, and how improbable it is that someone who has never served in public office is about to take on the highest rank in that employment sector.
It's a huge job, Martha, even in the best of circumstances. But given where our country is, the situation around the world, it is an enormous task. I don't think anyone could say they are qualified to step in and do this job. The good thing I've seen about Donald Trump is he is a delegator. He is determined to put good people around him who can implement the ideas that can help him make America great again. So I don't think he's going to try to do this all himself. And it's a good instinct for him to realize that he needs lots of really good people around him, whether it's on economics, the defense, our foreign policy, the cultural issues. I mean, it is a maze of complication that is going to be very difficult to pull off.
You know, a lot of tension existed between Paul Ryan and Donald Trump over the course of this process. And before this began, Paul Ryan was probably the most respected serving Republican as Speaker of the House. And then we saw him kind of whiplash back and forth with every story that surfaced in the news and in media. He vacillated between I can support him, I can't support him, I can support him, I'll vote for him, but I won't stand up for him. What did you think about all that? Was that appropriate?
Well, it was unfortunate, but really not that unusual in politics. It's just more high profile. One thing I saw in the Senate and the House when I was there is people have to have very short memories, because the guy or the girl who is against you today, you're going to need their vote tomorrow. That's what you're seeing today. I believe Donald Trump, Paul Ryan, they're going to put all this behind them and figure out ways to work together. And the fact is, what Donald Trump campaigned on is very consistent with a lot of the things that Paul Ryan has talked about over the years. They all agree we need to repeal Obamacare. They know we need good Supreme Court justices. Donald Trump is going to have to push his way on controlling our borders, but most Republicans have campaigned on the need to control our borders and have a reasonable immigration policy. So I think they're on the same page from a policy perspective.
I just need a quick answer here. What is Drain the Swamp going to look like, do you think?
What is what going to look like?
Drain the swamp.
Well, a lot of politicians have promised to do that, and I think that's just to clean it up, get the cronyism out. Washington now serves big interests, big unions, big corporations. Donald Trump has said he's going to make Washington work for everyday Americans, and it's going to take a lot of work.
We will watch. Thank you so much, Jim DeMint. Great to have you with us today.
Thanks.